I grew up in a Christian household with three brothers, one older and two younger brothers, and we were very competitive. We all played sports together, we played together, and my oldest brother was valedictorian. He was captain of the football team, so I always looked up to him, and I wanted to be more like him. So I just would always practice and kind of mirror everything that he did. And I strived to be more and more like him. It just seemed like I wasn't getting to where he was. I wasn't living up to what I saw him to be. I found the party scene, and I was the life of the party. I loved being around people. I was a people pleaser, and I would do pretty much anything they asked. And there was no limitation to that. Everybody seemed to be enjoying themselves, with it. So it was like, I'll try it. I'll see what it does. And, I thought it made me a better person. And part of that scene, I found drugs and alcohol. And I started abusing them, and I had a couple run-ins with the law, and I had a couple of close to death experiences, and the hurt and the anger, were starting to get the best of me. They were starting to take over and consume me. I was becoming more and more angry with myself for the things that I was doing. From there, I would get sad. I would be sad about it. I'd beat myself up, like, why were you doing this? Why were you doing that? So it would just, it seemed to be a whirlwind of emotions that were uncontrollable. I remember talking with my dad, and I was trying to tell my dad, well, Dad, I need to do this, I need to do that, and he said, well, you need to get a relationship with God. And I said, well, I have a relationship with God. And he said, well, why don't you tell me about him? And I thought about it, and I didn't know who he was. And it was that point when I realized, I got to get to know God, So I remember I went to a church that day, and Pastor Dan was giving the sermon on the Beatitudes. And the first one is, blessed be thee that are low in spirit. And I realized the only one I had was the low in spirit. And it was at that point, I thought I had all the other ones, blessed are thee that are the pure in heart, and I realized I didn't, so it was at that point I knew that I needed to surrender to God. I needed to give it away. All the pain, afflictions that I was carrying around with me, I could no longer handle on my own. And I knew that he died on the cross for me. And I had to release my sin. Christ died for me, and he saved me from a lifestyle that would have eventually killed me and led me to the depths of hell. So it gives me reason to live each day for him. I have to ask for him and his help, to heal me from those temptations, to keep me from those temptations, to protect me. So it's a daily, thing that I do, but it's easier when I give it up to him. I don't even think about it. He takes that burden away. And it starts at the cross. I mean, what he did for us at the cross, to take away our sins, but he continues to bless us every day there's a verse that I cherish. It's John 2:17, and it's the desire of the world shall pass away, but the man who does the will of God shall live forever. And it's the will of God is for us is to live for Him. So I just don't see any other way to live life.